When should you book your flight? You won't find the answer with psychics, tarot cards, or crystal balls. What you need is Kayak's price forecast tool. We'll let you know if you should book now or wait it out. Get the information you need for the flight you want. Kayak, search one and done.
So if you don't know, Israel, AIPAC has a stranglehold on our government, and it seems to be a puppet of Israel. It's crazy. It's like backwards, right? And by the way, we subsidize Israel. We give them $38 billion last year. They have universal health care. How are you going to afford that? Well, we'll get $38 billion from the United States, then we all have universal health care. So just to keep that in mind. By the way, so now, and we've showed you how people conflate being against Zionism as anti-Semitism. So what they've done now is they've crafted a bill. They're trying to pass a bill, and Democrats are on board. By the way, Kirsten Gillibrand, one of the co-sponsors of this bill, to make it illegal, to literally make it illegal to economically protest Israel. So they have the boycott, divestment, sanctions called BDS. And so people want to boycott Israel because they don't like how they're treating Palestine. Right? So I get that. And just like people did economic boycotts on the apartheid state in South Africa, right? So, and many people have referred to what's going on over there with the Palestinians, John Kerry himself, as an apartheid state. Just so you know. So people will like to protest it. People want to say, hey, let's not buy goods made in Israel. Stuff like that, as a way to put economic pressure on Israel to have a resolution with the Palestinians and to quit having this open-air prison known as the Gaza Strip. So they literally sponsored a bill. Well, here's what the ACLU said, so maybe this will give you a better understanding of what the bill is. They sent a letter to all the senators, the UCLA, the ACLU, the UCLA, and USC. The ACLU says, we urge you to refrain from co-sponsoring the legislation because it would punish individuals for no reason other than political beliefs. The bill seeks to expand the Export Administration Act of 1979 and the Export-Import Bank Act of 1945, which, among other things, prohibit U.S. persons from complying with a foreign government's request to boycott a country friendly to the United States. The bill would amend those laws to bar United States persons from supporting boycotts against Israel, including its settlements in the Palestinian-occupied territories conducted by international government organizations such as the United Nations and the European Union. So did you follow what that says? The bill would make it illegal to support boycotts against Israel. Basically, that's what it says. Even if those foreign bodies that are sponsoring a boycott include people like the United Nations and the European Union. Isn't that what that says? That's what that says, right?
Yeah, and the key the key word there is persons, too. It's not like this is applicable to, companies.
Right.
This is applicable to individuals. That's why places like the ACLU and other places are really like, this is not okay.
So, it said it would also broaden the law to include penalties for simply requesting information about such boycotts. Violations would be subject to a minimum civil penalty of $250,000 and a maximum criminal penalty of 1 million and 20 years in prison. So just the idea that this law could even reach the desk of someone in government and they would go, yeah, it's a good idea, shows you how far we've come in this country. Remember, Barack Obama repealed habeas corpus. Habeas corpus, which is in the Magna Carta. We literally repealed the Magna Carta, and now we're operating on a liberty view in the United States from somewhere around the 1100s.
So basically, if you see somebody holding BDS flyers, and you go up to that person and say, hey, I'm curious. Could I have a flyer? That may be the most expensive flyer you ever hold in your hand.
Yeah, that could be illegal under this law. This is what people in the United States are proposing as law. The ACLU's letter goes on, we take no position for or against the effort to boycott Israel or any foreign country, for that matter. However, we do assert that the government cannot, consistent with the First Amendment, punish U.S. persons based solely on their expressed political beliefs. The bill would impose civil and criminal punishment on individuals solely because of their political beliefs about Israel and its policies. In short, the bill would punish businesses and individuals based solely on their point of view. Such a penalty is in direct violation of the First Amendment. So let's say you have a company in the United States and you choose to not buy goods from Israel because you got it cheaper somewhere else or because of some other reason. I'm not going to buy these widgets from Israel because I'm going to get them from this other country because of price or because they're better or because my uncle owns that company or for whatever reason. You're okay. But if you own a company and you say, I'm not buying the widgets from Israel because I disagree with the way they're handling the Palestinian situation, I'm going to buy it from this other country, that would be illegal. So it's the same action, but they're criminalizing a political belief. So does that make it clear? Does that make it clear? So the same action, if I don't buy something from Israel, I don't go to jail. If I don't buy something from Israel because I disagree with Israel's policies, then I can go to jail. Isn't that crazy? That's what's happening in the United States right now. That's your great... And by the way, Democrats on board for this. One of them's co-sponsor, Kirsten Gillibrand. The bill aims to punish people who support international boycotts that are meant to protest Israeli government policies while leaving those who agree with Israeli government policies free from the threat of sanctions for engaging in the exact same behavior. So let's say I agree. So just what I just explained, I'll do it one more time. Let's say I agree with Israel's the way they're handling Palestine, but I still don't buy from them. I buy from someone else for money or whatever. But someone who does the same buying practices that I do could go to jail because of the reason.
Jimmy, the bill co-sponsors, according to The Intercept, it says the senior Democrat in Washington, Minority Leader Chuck Schumer.
He's a co-sponsor of this bill?
Co-sponsor include his New York colleague Kirsten
Gillibrand,
and several of the Senate more liberal members such as Ron Wyden of Oregon,
really,
Richard Blumenthal of Connecticut, and Maria Cantwell of Washington, illustrating the bipartisanship that AIPAC typically summons. It also includes several of the most right-wing senators such as Ted Cruz of Texas, Ben Sasse of Nebraska, and Marco Rubio of Florida.
So it's again, this bipartisan, there's an extra heaping of shit coming your way when they say it's bipartisan. So isn't that great? Those are Democrats. Like, this is something you would think would get cooked up in communist Russia or Nazi Germany. Literally 2017 in the United States. So now we're just so used to having no rights in America. If you peacefully protest, they'll crack your head like Occupy Wall Street. They'll tear gas you. They'll mace you. By the way, every phone call, every text, every email, the government's monitoring. That's not freedom. That's not liberty. What is that called? That's called the relationship between a slave master and his slave. That's what Christopher Hedges says. Whatever their merits, such boycotts rightly enjoy First Amendment protections. By penalizing those who support international boycotts of Israel, Senate Bill S-720 seeks only to punish the exercise of constitutional rights. The lead author of the controversial Israel Anti-Boycott Act, Democratic Senator Ben Cardin of Maryland, this is from The Intercept. The lead author is a frickin' Democratic senator. Lead author. He said he's open to amending the legislation to address concerns raised by the American Civil Liberties Union. He told The Intercept Monday. Oh, isn't that nice?
When, according to this article in Alternet, he drafted that with the help of AIPAC. They were with him in the drafting of it.
Oh, no, you think? You think? Yeah, no kidding. Co-sponsors of the bill have faced pressure at home to explain support for a bill with such language in it. This is from The Intercept. For instance, Representative Joe Kennedy from Illinois, Joe Kennedy III, Democrat from Massachusetts, is reviewing the bill in the light of the ACLU's concerns, as are Democratic Senators Kirsten Gillibrand of New York, Maria Cantwell of Washington, Ron Wyden of Oregon, Claire McCaskill of Missouri, and Richard Blumenthal of Connecticut. So if the ACLU didn't raise a stink about this, all these people would be cool with it. Just so you know. And by the way, they still might be cool with it. I haven't heard any of them. They just said they're open to amending it. That's as far as I've gotten. We thought, listen to this. This is the lead author. We thought we only dealt with civil penalties, not criminal penalties. But if that's not clear, we're willing to deal with these issues. Yeah, it's not clear. You know why? Because that isn't the case. That's not the case, Ben. That's why it's not clear. Because you're not just dealing with civil penalties. You're dealing with criminal penalties, as is stated in your bill, which is what the ACLU pointed out. You knucklehead. You don't even know it's in your own goddamn bill. Oh, that's right, because the AIPAC wrote it for you. And you didn't read it. Well, if they think that's in there, then I guess we'll have to make it clear that it's not in there, even though it's right in there, because you read it, it's in there.
I got a Cliff Notes, and it wasn't in there.
Yeah, my Cliff Notes to the bill, it wasn't there. My aides gave me the Cliff Notes. If the bill were amended to clarify that no criminal penalties could be applied, violators would still face a $250,000 civil fine. So even if they amended it to take away the criminal penalty, you could still be fined $250,000 civilly.
Yeah, but you're not a criminal. You're still a good American. So there's that.
Yeah, but you're not a criminal. You're just bankrupt. Do you see why we need a revolution in this country? Do you see why our representatives don't? The last thing they do is represent us. We have a kangaroo. What do they call kangaroo courts? We have a kangaroo government. It's more disgusting than even I thought. This is unbelievable, and people still don't know. And they don't. I guess people don't think about it. Hey, the government takes every email, phone call, and text that you make. They have it. Yeah, I guess that's cool. Hey, they can throw you in jail without charging you because of the Section 1021 of the NDAA, which Barack Obama signed on New Year's Eve. Hey, they can do that? We got rid of habeas corpus in America. Did you know that? Literally. So this is what's going on in America. This is our elected. These are Democrats, bipartisan, baby. Do you see why we need a revolution? Do you see why we need a third party? I do. And if you don't, well, get ready to be complacent as Rome burns, because it's burning right now. Holy shit. Hey everybody, the next live Jimmy Dore show is August 16th. That's a Wednesday. New time, 9 p.m. 9 p.m. show. 9 p.m. show, August 16th in Burbank, California. Get your tickets right there or at JimmyDoreComedy.com.